I told somebody about how I linked a store to YouTube and started immediately selling ebooks, and everybody's like, "Oh, are you teaching that? Are you teaching that?" So I thought today I'll pop on here, give you guys a video of exactly how I'm doing this. So believe it or not, PDFs selling ebooks can still be a 6 or even 7-figure business. I went down the rabbit hole and did a bunch of research and found some people that were doing some very big things in 2025 with ebooks still. And it got me curious. And I was like, I love writing ebooks. I've done it forever. I used to do it for free lead magnets in my real estate business. So let me try whatever they're doing and see if it works. You guys, I had the entire store set up and linked to YouTube within an hour, and I made my first sale. And it's pretty incredible what is happening. And I'm going to give you the quick how-to on how to do this. Now let's take a look. Here's an example book of mine. It's a $27 Ultimate Pinterest Prompt Pack. And it's got 50 prompts that you could use for Pinterest. Okay. Now, I did this because I have a strong following for Pinterest. So it made sense. And then I also created this one where I teach people how to take my exact process of turning a long form article into a whole bunch of spin-off small articles for creating many blog posts out of one on Pinterest. And so since I was teaching it anyway, I sat down and documented my process. That's basically what I did to create this ebook. Then I made one for my TikTok fans, for TikTok shop creator content. I published one this morning, 190 YouTube power prompts. These are all ChatGPT prompts for building a big YouTube channel. And then over here, I have this one that's linked to today's video, from idea to income, how to build an ebook business using YouTube. So basically what I'm doing is I'm documenting my processes and I'm turning them into ebooks. But you could do this in a multitude of ways. But let's just take a look at the money part of this, just really quick. All right, let's just say you sold 3 ebooks per day, every single day. So $27 times 3, that'd be $81 per day. That'd be $2,430 extra dollars per month just from taking advantage of the traffic you already have. Let's just pretend you already have traffic on YouTube and they're already coming here anyway. And now you add some ebooks and you're selling a few a day. You could add a couple more $1,000 per month to your bottom line, about $25,000 a year. Now let's just say you sold 5 ebooks every day times 27. That's 135 a day. That's $945 per week. That's $3,780 per month. And that's an extra $45,000 per year with no direct cost. There is a little bit that comes out of each one that goes to the store. And I'm going to show you that in a second, how to set up a free store. And they just take a little piece of it. Now, if you were to sell 10 ebooks today at just $27 a piece, $270 per day, times 7 is going to be an extra couple $1,000s per week. Times 4, 7,560 for a 28-day span month, let's just say. And then times 12, you've got $90,000 just from selling that many per day. And I found people that are making 6 figures in a month off of a strong PDF business with upsells, downsells, order bumps. They can, however they're building onto it. But I went poking around, and this is one of the ways I saw that people were doing this, is they were linking. I didn't even know this was here. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know this was here. I did know this was here. So set up a store on YouTube. When I first got qualified for the YouTube shopping program, I set up a Shopify store, and I was adding all of my affiliate products to the Shopify store, and I linked it here. That does work. Okay, that does have legs, and I might even go back to that. But what I wasn't thinking about was that you could create this PDF shop, this ebook shop, if you wanted to. And so I started playing around with this, and I went to set up the store on YouTube. And what it did is it gave me store options. It says you can set up Shopify, you can set up fourth wall for free. And I was like, fourth wall, what is that? So I went over and I looked at fourth wall. I'll put links below to whatever I can, but it's called fourth wall. And you can see here, No monthly fees, no upfront costs. It's a 95-5 split. Start for free. Fourth wall is for creators. That's what got my attention. Shopify is for e-commerce. Fourth wall, when it said it's for creators, I was like, ooh, let me stop and look at that. YouTube, merch shelf integration for channel personalized videos, memberships, requested invites. So it's growable. There's a bunch of other things that you can do with the fourth wall site. So let me show you what my fourth wall site looks like. I set it up for free. I did it all in an hour. I got my first ebook up there and I sold my first ebook the same day. The thing to keep in mind though is that I already have YouTube traffic and I'm already qualified for the YouTube shopping feature, which you will have to do. But if you look here, they give you a spot to add this banner. They give you a spot to add buttons. There's different themes. I went with bare bones basics because all I wanted to do right at first was get my PDFs up here and running. Okay. So then underneath that, you're able to take donations. You're able to list your video, show a row of videos. I've got my Instagram linked here. I've got my TikTok linked here. Here's the ability to join a newsletter. And then love what I'm doing. You can create your own merchandise and store right here with Fourth Wall. That's all it is. Now, let's say somebody's interested in this ebook. When they click here, it does what it needs to do. There's a title, there's a price, there's descriptions, add to your cart, and they can buy it right here. Okay, there's a privacy policy, there's terms of service, contact information, ability to change the dollars. You can put your social links on here. Then you can expand from here to like memberships and things like that. Again, this was free and easy to set up. So that's why I did this. And obviously this ebook here, I'm going to link it below for you, has the guide to how I did all this. But I'm going to now talk about some ideas for what you could sell, what you could build if you had a YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to YouTube and we're just going to grab a channel and I'll give you some ideas. Okay. So spring fashion trends for women over 50. All right. So she's already doing a double six-figure business. I interviewed her on my coaching program. And she does ad revenue. She gets long form content with ad revenue. And she also gets revenue through her affiliate program and her YouTube shopping program. Okay. Now, if we wanted to click on ChatGPT to get some ideas, I'm going to open Harpa. I'll put a link below. Harpa runs my ChatGPT for me and it's page aware. So it'll read channels and pages that I'm on. But for right now, actually, yeah, let's do this. Let's go look at her channel for a second. Let me just file the screen. There she is. Okay. So I'm going to go to her videos and I'm going to go to popular. Here's her most popular videos. Okay. Now right here, I'm going to say, make me a list of the most popular videos on this channel. Don't worry about my spelling. I don't have to, I can skip letters. I'm just kind of barely hitting the keyboard. Here's some of the most popular videos. Okay, so it's going to give a whole list of videos. How to not look older. Over 50, here's things that make you look cheap. 10 stylish mistakes that instantly age you. These are all ebooks. Those could all be small ebooks, but now I'm going to say, I want to create an ebook store off this channel. Give me ideas for titles. Ageless style, fashion tips for women over 50. Chic over 50, dressing with confidence and elegance. Timeless wardrobe essentials, a guide for midlife women. Leggings to love, stylish ways to wear leggings over 50. Denim delights. So what's cool about this is it's giving us like sorry, my keyboard key is popping off here. It's giving us ideas for like the big books. And then it's even got these little spin-off books ideas that could also be really valuable. All right. So then the next step I would say is I would do it this way. ChatGPT has a phone app, and I go for a walk whenever it's not raining. I go whenever. It's hardly ever raining in Vegas. It happened to be raining today. Normally, I would go for a walk, and when I go for a walk on my like 45-minute walk to an hour and a half, depending on how long I'm out, I will read all of my thoughts to ChatGPT, and I will tell it my tips, my ideas, my successes, my failures, my how-to. I'll give it everything I possibly can, and then we'll come back and create the ebook so that it's my voice, it's my thoughts, it's my tips, it's my guidance, but with some additions. So one example might be, give me chapter ideas for book number 1. Oops, book 31. Book 1. Give me the chapters. My H key is not working. I don't know what happened. My cat must have jumped up here or something. I'll fix it after. Okay. So look at the chapters. Introduction, Embracing Fashion Over 50. Chapter 1, Wardrobe Essentials. Chapter 2, Mastering the Art of Layering. Chapter 3, The Perfect Fit, Jeans and Pants. Chapter 4. Okay. Now I could say break down talking points in each chapter. So now if I'm Serena and she does all these videos anyway, then I'm going to go into ChatGPT and say, let's do chapter 1. And I will take all those talking points and I'll say, here are some common mistakes to avoid with leggings. And I'll tell them to ChatGPT. And then I might say something like, did I forget any? Is there anything I missed? And it'll come in and go, oh yeah, well, you should have talked about such and such. And I'll say, great, do it. Now, when you're talking with your voice, it's learning who you are. So let me give you an example. I'm going to open ChatGPT. Okay. I have mine up here in projects. Okay. I'm going to write a new ebook all about building a solopreneur digital marketing business. What is my tone of voice? Your tone of voice should be direct, engaging, and practical. That is my tone of voice, is basically what it's saying. Casual but sharp, empathetic yet motivating, actionable and real world, confident and encouraging. This is my real voice. What celebrity am I most like voice-wise? I often get like Gary Vaynerchuk, very direct. I often get Oprah too, which is funny because I feel like I'm more blunt than Oprah. Anyway, okay, so what I'm going to say is, give me an opening paragraph for this book. Okay. Building a solopreneur digital marketing business is no small feat. This is not me. That does not sound like me. So I go back and forth a little bit until we've got the vibe right out of the gate. Try again. More hooks. Do you remember who I am? Sometimes it takes a minute to get it rolling. Yeah, that sounds like me. Now let's see if it does it. First paragraph. So there is a dance that happens here, going back and forth. Starting a solopreneur digital marketing business isn't about having all the answers up front. It's about taking the first step and committing to the process, even when the road ahead looks unclear. Da, 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 da. Oh, I like this. If you're looking for a magic formula or overnight success, this book isn't for you. That is something I would say 100%. But if you're ready to roll up your sleeves, learn what actually moves the needle. Yes, that sounds like me. So the reason why I can use ChatGPT and still sound like myself is because I have talked to it for hours and hours and hours and hours. It knows my language. It knows the words I use, the words I don't use, the inflection, all of the things. And I wouldn't even begin to sit down and write an ebook before I had some good conversations with ChatGPT, because it's going to be too generic. It isn't going to sound like me. It isn't going to flow like me. So if you really want to use ChatGPT as an assistant, just like you would If you were hiring a writing assistant or you're going to hire an editor, that's what an editor does. They go through and they check it all out and they rephrase things. Sometimes they're rewriting entire paragraphs. I know because I used one once. So I personally feel like using ChatGPT is perfectly ethical and acceptable and a good strategy, so long as you are working with ChatGPT so that it truly understands who you are. Okay. Another thing is I never just let it write the book. Instead, I'll start with feeding it all of my thoughts and ideas. So it's got tons to build off of before we write the book. That's step number one. Okay. Now, I'm going to say, what do you know about my business as a solopreneur? I just want to show you what it actually knows about me already. From our past conversations, here's what I know about you. It knows my digital marketing business. It knows my affiliate marketing business. It knows my multiple brands and websites. It knows how I like automation and AI. It understands my focus on freedom and flexibility. Right? Okay, great. We are going. Okay. Do you know my frustrations with hiring people? Now, it should know very clearly that I have no desire to hire anybody. Here, I have lack of control, efficiency versus delegation, finding the right fit, inconsistent quality, some of my frustration. Yes, and you know I want to stay a solopreneur, right? I know that spelling was awful. I'm just hitting the keyboards. Yes, absolutely. Okay. But why do I want to stay solo? What is the power of that? What's funny is when I ask ChatGPT what my weaknesses is, it's always saying because I won't hire more people, because I don't want to do that again. It's right. It's true. Okay. So this is just, I'm showing you this as an example to show you how much I go back and forth with ChatGPT all the time. So now I could say, let's lay out the chapters in this ebook based on my personal business and experience. Okay, so here's the chapters. Chapter 1, welcome to the solopreneur life, why I chose this path, the benefits of being a solopreneur. 2, what this book will teach you. Now, if you don't want to let ChatGPT just write your book for you, which again, I don't recommend you just let ChatGPT write the book for you unless it knows every dotted I for you, then I would take your voice, you can type if you want, or take your phone and open it, start a project called, like this one, Solopreneur, and then I'm going to say, here's chapter 1, why I chose this path. Then I'm going to speak into ChatGPT and I'm going to tell it all the reasons why I chose the path. And I'm going to mumble and I'm going to use slang and none of it matters because it's going to put it back in my tone of voice properly, cleaned up after the fact, just like an editor would. And then what this book will teach you. And I'll say that. Now, then after chapter 1, I put all the thoughts in there. Then best practice is this. ChatGPT does not do a good job when I write a long book, like I go for an hour and a half walk and I tell it everything in my soul for an hour and a half, it will lose context up towards the top and it will start to skip things. The more in depth, the more you can slow down and do chapter by chapter, the better off it will be. Or give it separate instructions and put it in separate chats. But let's just say, okay, do chapter 1. So I would sit down with it now and I'm going to look. Okay, look, this is so me. I'm going to be blunt. That is exactly how I would start talking to somebody. I'm going to be blunt. Starting a business as a solopreneur isn't for the faint of heart. But if you're reading this, I know you're ready to take on the challenge. You're here because you want something more freedom, more control, more lifestyle. This is all words straight out of my head, I'm telling you, because I've said this to ChatGPT so many times. When I started my journey, I didn't have a roadmap. There was no guide. Okay, this is perfect. So how does this sound as chapter 1? I'm going to say continue. Now I just want to show you exactly where I would go from here. My next step would be to open Pages. Now, you can use Microsoft Word. You could use Microsoft. You can use, sorry, Apple. Is it Apple Pages? Who did Pages? I think it's Apple. So you could do Pages. You could do Canva. You can do whatever. If you have ebook software, which I haven't found a really great one. I've been dabbling, and I'm going to tell you this. So far for me, Word or Pages is the easiest way to go. When I use Canva, the book is much prettier. You can put in your footers, but it is a pain to sit and lay that out. Text by text, block by block. They need to give us a better way to do it because right now it just doesn't make sense. Where here, these look fantastic. Okay. So I'll give you an example. The one I created this morning. Hold on. Let me do it this way. Oh, it won't let me pause. Okay. We're just going to log in. We're going to go to my store. Okay. Down here, we have, this is the one I just did this morning. So 190 YouTube power prompts. And then I did this one too, YouTube ebook business. So let me show it to you in a PDF format. It's not on this computer. That's why I have to do it this way. Checkout page. There it is. Okay. Let me download the ebook. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, here we go. So I'll shrink that down a little bit so you can kind of see it page by page. So there's the cover page. I'll show you how I made that in a second. And then it's by chapters. You can add images very easy. I have not done a bunch of images because these are kind of like, let me just get these out right now and hop in, and they're already selling. I can get fancy with images later if I want to. But as you can see, everything at least, it's all 14-point font. It's got the chapters on it. It's got the cover page. It's got, and this was just all done with Microsoft Pages, and then I exported to a PDF. And you can do the same thing with Microsoft Word. That's just a quick, super easy way to get this done. Alternatively, when I used Canva, I'll show you what I did in Canva. It took me hours and hours and hours, and this is what it looks like. So there's the cover page. Is there a way to preview what this looks like? Right here. I think that'll do it. Okay. It's not that much different. Really, it isn't. And it took me forever to lay that out like this. I would just, you get a prettier back page, and I got maybe a prettier cover, but you could make the covers in Canva and then put them into your Pages format if you want to. Okay. So either way, whatever software you want to use, I just personally feel like throwing this all into Microsoft Pages keeps it very simple. Now I have that little page in the back. I just kind of have that saved as a drop in. So I just kind of drop it in. Now to make the cover of your book, what I do is I use Ideogram. I'll put a link to this one below too. And then I'm going to put, first, let's come up with titles for our book. So where were we at? We were right here, something about digital marketing. Give me 10 title ideas for this book in my tone of voice. I don't wait to be perfect, you guys. And somebody might pick on me because, oh, she needs to slow down to be perfect. No. There's the people that slow down and try to be perfect usually don't get to the finish line, and they don't get very much done. So what I usually do is I go with, this is really good for right now. And then when something just knocks it out of the park, then I'll go back and make things either prettier or fancier or whatever. Actually, it's when I keep things very simple and just go that I do the best. It really is true. So anyway, let's look at this. The Solopreneur's Blueprint, building a digital marketing business on your terms. Ooh, love it. Solo and scaling, how to build a profitable digital business alone. Freedom over 9 to 5, the no-nonsense guide to building your ooh, like that one. One woman, one business, how I built a digital marketing brand without a team. The solo hustle, strategies for building a scalable. These are all good, and these are all me. Man, it really knows my tone of voice. So good. This is definitely me. All right, let's just say we pick one. Solo success, a step-by-step system to building your digital business. Then we go over to Ideogram, and I'm going to say ebook cover. I'm going to put that in the title by Lori Ballen. I'm going to make it 3:4 is the ratio. If you click there, you can see all the different sizes. I'm using the 3.0 version, and I'm going to click generate. Now I'm going to go down to creations, and you can get an idea of my workflow here. So these were the creations I made earlier today, and you can see all the different ideas that I was tossing around as it was coming. There's the one I picked, right? But here's some others that we were kind of playing with. Now let's see what it creates for us up here. Okay, so here's what it gave us. Oh, I like that one. It's too feminine. Solo Success, the step-by-step system to building your digital business by Lori Ballen. Oh, I kind of like that one. Kind of like it. I like that she's watching the growth of it. I like that it's a female. At first I didn't, and now I'm kind of like, yeah, I like it. So I might use that one. Now, if you wanted different versions, though, just click generate. It'll create 4 more new ideas. Now, depending on how your credits work, each one of those counts as a certain number of credits. So you don't want to just go crazy before you know how to use Ideogram. Okay, now none of those worked for me at all. There's way too much gibberish on there. It looks more like a web page, right? Now, instead of ebook cover, let me change it to just book cover and see what it does. Because sometimes it looks cool to have it look more like a book than just the cover. This clearly looks like a cover of an ebook, but sometimes, oh, okay, hold on. That's cute. Solo Success, the step-by-step to building your digital business. I might make her blonde because then she'd look more like me, but that's actually not a bad likeness. Little smoother skin, but not a bad likeness. Solo Success, I don't like that one at all. Okay, so this is exactly how I would build this, okay? All right, now you want to take a picture of yourself and put yourself on the cover of anything, go for it. Go get your camera, take a really good picture, upload it as your cover page, put some text overlay. Or go to Canva, choose magazine covers, find the magazine cover you like, put your picture there instead of somebody else's. Go for it. You can do all of that. I'm just giving you the step-by-step basic idea of how I'm doing all of this, okay? Then once that's in your book, then I just basically take everything that I did in Pages, I copy ChatGPT over to Pages. So I would do this one chapter at a time, one section at a time. So then you're looking it over, you're making sure it has everything you want in it. I might say something like, give me another example of this. Or remember that time we talked about such and such, let's include that. And it'll pull it out and write a little story about it. I might say, make this more personal. Now, if you're not talking to ChatGPT, then you're going to have more of a generic book, and that's fine if that's what you want to put out the first time, especially if it's like a cookbook or something like that. And you throw your recipes in there and say, hey, let's make a cookbook. Well, it may not. You can say, I want to talk about that this was my mom's recipe and this is what my mom did. You can guide it as you're writing. That's perfectly fine too. Then once this is all done, then I just come up here to File. I go to Export to a PDF, and it saves it as a PDF. Okay, so your ebook is done. Now your options are, you can connect your store. If you have enough subscribers, you can connect your YouTube store to a fourth wall store for free, or to Shopify if you want to pay the monthly 35 bucks or whatever it is. Okay. If you don't have enough YouTube subscribers, set up the fourth wall site anyway, if it'll let you do it anyway, and just put the links in the description of the video. Or you could do something like my Stand Store right here. So I'll put a link below to Stand Store. Stand Store is kind of expensive though. I think it's like, I don't know, it starts off free and then it has higher versions. But Stand Store, you can build courses and coaching and funnels and way more things on Stand Store. Communities, but you can also do a lot of that on YouTube. So it just depends on, the reason I like Stand Store is because not all my clients come from YouTube. They're coming from Pinterest, they're coming from Instagram, they're coming from Facebook, they're coming from YouTube. So I have a landing page that sends them to all of there. But listen, once you set up your fourth wall, if you want to use fourth wall, I do not have like some killer affiliate income or anything with fourth wall. In fact, I think they only give me like sample credit or something. And so it's not like I'm pushing this because I have a financial benefit in it. I'm pushing this because it was easy. And I know a lot of you guys want easy. Now, what I did is I went over to GoDaddy, and in my ebook that's linked below, this one right here, From Idea to Income, I do tell you how to go do that. But I went over to GoDaddy and I registered ballenpublishing.com. And then Fourth Wall has an option that says set up a custom domain. You just put in the custom domain, you put in your GoDaddy login and password. It has you linked to it through this third-party application. And then it sets up all your DNS servers and everything for you. Done. Then I set up an email on GoDaddy, and now I have like Lori at ballenpublishing.com. Now I can use this URL anywhere. So this morning I was telling people how to do this, exactly what we're talking about right now. Now this ebook has its own URL. So somebody could say, hey, Lori, do you have the step-by-step to what you're talking about to set up a YouTube store? I go, yep, it's right here. And then I can put that URL anywhere I want to, not just on YouTube. And then I can put this link in the YouTube description or in the first comment, and I could pin it in the first comment. I can go make Pinterest pins with this now, and I can link to that item, right? There's all kinds of ways to do this. The concept overall, though, is this. You make the ebooks, you get them published, you get them up there on your channel so that when somebody goes to your channel, they can shop your store. If you have the followers, you have the subscribers. If you don't have the followers yet, you have more work to do in the content department before you get here. But once you have the followers, you get to monetize your channels in so many brilliant, beautiful ways. And this is just one of many. Anyway, get this complete guide below. Learn all the step-by-step on exactly how I did this today. Pick up any of the other guides while you're there. And I do have a coaching program where we meet twice a month to talk for about 2 hours each time on all of this. I have modules, I have videos, I have training guides. All of these PDF books I'm building are free inside Blueprint Coaching, along with the videos, tutorials, all of my ChatGPT prompts. We have a private community. Love to have you. And I'm Lori Ballen. Thanks for joining me today.